How to get the very best lead vocals. Next on Music Surgery with me, Dr. Bob. Hey, before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of future videos. Also, there are tons of great samples from my personal library below in the description of every video. They're all pay what you want. And lastly, if you want me to work on your music, hit me at drbobmusicsurgery@gmail.com. So, your plugin list is your toolbox on how to get the best vocals you possibly can. With much experimentation, here's a vocal chain that works for me every time. You'll not only see the plugins, but the order that they're in that makes all the difference. Watch this. All right, you guys, some really good lead vocal stuff this week. Lots of things go into this, but let me show you the first thing here. I've got this in my vocal chain first. Now this is, in Cubase, this is one of those ARA, or whatever extensions. It's called Dynassist. And what this does is it rides the vocal, gates the vocal, turns the breaths down, and de-esses. And it's really cool because it's ARA. It looks ahead, and it's really, really good. Now, the reason I have this, it doesn't show up in my lead vocal chain here because it's not an insert. It's ARA. So what I can do is, so I put that first because I need to take, in a vocal chain, I take care of problems first. And anything that this would be problems. De-essing, gating, de-breathing. Now, a lot of you say, well, that's kind of like Wave Rider, this part where it rides it. Big difference in this, since this is first in my vocal chain, I'm riding this into compression. So similar to like what Chris Lord-Alge does with an L1 before he hits an 1176. He will slightly L1 the vocal to even it out a little before compression. So this is not my final, this is not riding like you would ride automation on your final fader. This is riding into compression, and I'll show you what I mean. So the next thing I do after that, let me show you this real quick, is I get rid of a bunch of low here that I don't want in a vocal. None of this would ever be good in a vocal. And the reason I do that is, again, at the top of your chain of your vocals, you want to get rid of things that are wrong, that are bad. You want to fix before you start adding the good stuff. Okay, so next in line is my blue 1176. So what I'll do here, now watch here as you'll see I go to my 11, this will be riding the level into this 1176.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am. Yeah.
So you see where I'm leveling out here is pretty much even. Now if I took it down, if my target loudness of this is even lower, watch what it does to my compressor.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am.
I don't have near as much gain reduction, but it's keeping all of my rides. And obviously if my target is louder,
try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am.
Which I know that looks like that's pegging that, but to me that sounds pretty good. Now you can see where it's riding things. If I want to change anything in this, I can hit this little, the little pencil, and I can grab anything and change what I want. It's a really great tool. Now, I don't look at this as a vocal rider as much as I do riding into this compression, because the compression in my vocal chain here starts to be where I sculpt the sound instead of getting things in this, rid of things in the sound that are wrong or that I need to fix. So let me turn all this off. Here we are at the beginning.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am. Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger.
After this compression, I have a little bit of SSL just for some poppy kind of brightness up here and a little mid-range. There's nothing special about any of that. It's just a taste. So I'm starting to sculpt the sound now that I've got rid of the things that are bad about the sound. A little Unfair Child here for character next.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am.
Listen without it.
Try to take me down and I just get...
Hear how it gets grabby on those syllables in a dense mix. We like that.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger.
But next, so it's not so much, we de-es it a touch.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I...
So we still get the slappiness, pop, 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 but we don't get so much so that it's annoying. Next, the old RVox, which is another compressor that just kind of brings all of the chest forward to me.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am.
Bringing a little bit of the room in the mic forward, which I don't really mind. I could get rid of that with some RX, but it doesn't bother me. Next, some Soothe to get rid of some harshness. Here's without it.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am. Yeah.
Next, if I want it, this is Saturn, which is going to add some distortion to liven it up a bit.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am. Yeah.
Mix to taste. And then the last thing, the trusty MV2, which is just bringing up, here's without it. Sorry.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am.
Which just sandwiches it in another box. So, what we're looking at is the ARA first to get rid of problems, make it evenly ridden before it hits the compressor, gate out some noise, it debreaths where there's breaths, and sibilance. And you can go in and change all of these. And if I want to change how fast it rides, I can change this. Whoops, sorry. What am I doing here? I could change the speed if I want it to ride slower or really get on it. You see all the edit points. And the smoothness of how quick they react to each other.
Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am. Yeah, I am.
So, for a vocal chain, that's kind of where I'm at these days. Now, I'm not going to go into any effects or chorus or anything like that. Let's just concentrate on the lead vocal. So let's listen to this. We have a lead and then a double. And then these are the lead vocals. I've got 2 up the middle and 2 on the sides. The sides I didn't really do much, but DS and take out the bottom.
Then you think I am. Keep up if you can. Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am.
Maybe put that one off a little. Dealer's choice.
Then you think I am. Keep up if you can. Try to take me down and I just get. Then you think I am stronger. Keep up if you can. Try to take me down and I just.
So I highlighted some parts in green here. As you see, these are all breaths, and I didn't ARA all of these vocals. I could, but listen to this section of the song, and then listen to it when I clean up these vocals.
Keep up if you can. Try to take me down.
And now if I take these breaths out.
Keep up if you can. Try
So train yourself to hear what's in between the singing, because when you start to hear things like this, it'll really annoy you.
Keep up if you can. Try to take me down.
Now clean.
Keep up if you can. Try to take me down and I just get taller, stronger than you think I am. I am. Yeah, I am.
And here's another part I've highlighted. You may want these breaths or not, but listen to these breaths again in between vocals.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
So here's without the breaths.
Yeah, I am.
Now, we also have this little pop. Let's listen to this.
Yeah, I am.
Now, without as much compression, you may not hear that, but we're really cranking down on the compression because of pop music, so let's get rid of these as well.
Yeah, I am.
So much cleaner. Now, I've not vocal aligned any of this either, but you might, I can do that, bring that back. If you really want to, you really get down and dirty on pop music, some of these things really need to be lined up to get the sound that we're talking about here. So, for instance, on this, I would probably do this crossfade. If I didn't vocal line and I did it just manually.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am.
Another vocal there. Another breath. Now, I would also probably go in and align the breaths. If I wanted to use the breaths, which would be like this, and say they're a little bit loud, I may cut these bottom ones and cut this right here. Now let's see where these start about here. So I would probably make these start about here. Yes, we're aligning breaths, but this is what you really need to get things that pop kind of really dialed in. And I would probably take this and cut that, and then maybe just duck them. And here is a little something there we don't want, we can see. So now let's listen. If we want the breaths louder, that's okay because they're in line with each other. Too loud, but artifacts with singers singing.
Hey, 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 hey.
Some things here that I definitely would not want. There's nothing there that's worthy of it, and there's nothing there, and probably nothing there. So, and then we'll smooth out the edges to make sure there's no unwanted noise. So let's recap really quick. First, we dyna assisted to ride things into our 1176, and all of these things are really good and necessary for a vocal because vocals can get nasty and spitty and breathy. Then the first thing we do before the 1176 is we dump this low in. I don't know why that's like that, but. And where's the low end? Where do we dump it?
Hey, hey.
We can see that the low end part of her vocal is right there, so I don't need anything below that. Next, 1176.
Hey, hey. Then you think I am.
Without it?
Hey, hey.
Again, it's bringing up some of the room because I'm hitting it pretty good, but that's fine. And now we start to sculpt with some high end, a little bit of gate, maybe some, just some touches. Everything here is not doing much, but everything counts. Listen to the taste and the feel and the color of the Unfair Child.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Urgency, and it really pokes out in the mix. De-essing again, just to make sure everything's covered. Some chesty forwardness of the Arvox.
Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Soothe next to make sure the harshness is gone.
Hey, hey. Then
Just takes a little bit of that headache away. And then lastly, if we want some saturation.
Hey, hey. Then you think I am.
And MV2 to crunch it. After we've got all that right, then we can really start to hear some of these artifacts pop out in our microphone, lip noise, breath noise, and all that, and we take care of those with editing. And that, to me, is a really good place to get your vocal before you start adding doubling and effects and delay and reverb and such. Well, there you go. Use these plugins or the equivalent of these plugins and make sure you grab the concept behind the order that they're in. It works every time. Thanks so much for watching. Give me some comment, love, and a thumbs up below. And hit me at drbobmusicsurgery@gmail.com if you want to say hello or you want me to work on your music. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you the next time the doctor's in.